Good evening, everyone. So I'm out here. I got my RX7 made by Hoyt. Out here throwing some arrows into the target. And a couple years ago, I left the camping trailer, got out to where my brother and I were getting out the four-wheelers, and headed into our watering hole. It dawned on me I left my release back in camp. So my brother dug through his pack and had an extra one. I thought that was genius. Everybody should carry two. What if you lose one? What if one gets broke? So when we got back to town, I went in and bought a second one. I made a mistake though. I didn't buy the same one that I've always been shooting. Let me show you. So I shoot this Scott release. It's just a normal pull back, put it in, load it, and then you just pull a trigger and it releases. Pretty simple, but it's made by Scott and I really like it. It's always been dependable for me, and that's what I use. What I picked up was this one, and it's made by Hot Shots here in Logan Utah, local company, which is really what made me buy it. I like to support local, but this is a little bit different system than what I've ever shot before. I threw this in my backpack as my backup, but I've never used it. So I thought I should run in and grab it and give it a try today so I can see how it works. Now I know typically if this is what you're shooting, that's what you should have as a backup as well. But I'm going to give this one a try and compare the two, see how it goes, and maybe I'll switch over to this one, I don't know. But I'll also just tell you what my thoughts are about it. And like I said, it's made by Hot Shots here in Logan. You can kind of see their brand on there maybe, or their logo. But let's give it a try. And there's the target that we're gonna shoot. Do have my canoe out here. It's getting ready to get painted. So I'm gonna do a little makeover on that so I can get some canoe time in. But this isn't a canoe video, it's a release video. So we're gonna give it a try. So I'm going to shoot 2 sets of 3. The first 3 I'm going to shoot into this side with my release I'm always using. And then I'll shoot 3 into this side with the new release that I'm using as a backup. So we'll see how it works. But so in this one, traditional, this one, the new one. We'll just see how they go. Let's fling a few arrows. Alright guys, so something very interesting happened on that. As I shot with my traditional release that I've been using, I was right there in the area, not as tight as I want to be, but I haven't shot for a week or two, so but I'm right where I want to be on this black. I switched over to the backup release, or the one that I bought for a backup, and a little bit different setup. So, and I about shanked my first arrow and threw it about a block away. Luckily I didn't get it to pull all the way. With my Scott release that I'm always using, I barely touch it and it's gone. This one I go to pull and it didn't do anything. And I actually had to really pull hard. It's not sensitive like my Scott. I anticipated the shot, which is not a good thing to do. But I'm going to be honest with you about all this so I can give you a real review on it. But I went to pull it, and when I didn't, I kind of panicked. And I let the arrow down and tried to figure out why it wasn't releasing, and then I realized it took a little bit more than just sensitivity, just barely touching it and it would go. So I drew back again and applied pressure, and it sent. So you can see here, those are my 3 arrows that I sent, and really they're a nice tight group as well, but they're above my mark. I didn't move to a different spot or anything, I stood in the same spot, but I think because it took more muscle to release it, that it was just shifting my bow up just a little bit, that it was sending them higher. So I'm not saying this is a bad release, that's not what I'm saying. It's a different release and I'm not used to it. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to try 3 more or maybe even 6 more arrows with it, see if I can improve my target any, and then I'll give you some more thoughts. Right now my Scott is beating my hot shot, but that's when I've been shooting for a long time, so that just makes sense. I don't want to count these guys out because I love supporting local. If it's a local business, whether here in my hometown or in my home state, I love to support those businesses because I want to see them succeed, and that's what I'm hoping for hot shots. I'm hoping that they succeed. So I'm going to go shoot some more. Let's see what I can do. Alright guys, I'm feeling really bad even maybe putting this video together, because I've had real hopes that this release would do well, but as you can see they're all high. This one probably it'd be at the top of the black if it was over, but I'm all over the place. And I think the reason for that is, and I want to be fair, it's a different release obviously, but it's a whole different release system. So if I had to choose between this release, which is made by Hot Shots, or this release here, which is made by Scott, I'm sticking with this one. But to be fair, and like I said, I love supporting local, I'm going to see if Hot Shots makes a release like this, and then I'll do a second review on that if they have something like this. But just for the mere fact of how this one, I just barely touch it and it releases, it doesn't change my shot at all. This one, where I have to physically pull the trigger, I think that kind of speaks for itself. And like I said, that makes me feel bad because I'm always cheering for the hometown boy, the local business. Crumb cookies, when they came out, we ate them, thought it was awesome, and now they're $1 million, if not $1 billion cookie business across the whole United States. I'd love to see that for Hot Shots. So, well, I'm gonna switch over and do some more shooting. I'm gonna use my Scott release, and I'm going to go, like I said, see if I can't find if Hot Shots has something like this. I'm gonna buy that, give it a try. But I'm also gonna go buy another one of these, so that way I can have a backup that will match this one should I ever lose this one. I haven't lost one, but I did leave it in camp, and I don't know why it was separated from my bow, but when Bryce and I got up to where we were gonna hunt that night and off the four-wheelers, we'd already been traveling for a half hour on the four-wheelers, and I was not about to go back. So, well, thanks for watching, guys. And let me ask you this, if you have a Hot Shots release, or if you've ever heard of them, make a comment and let me just know. Let me know what your thoughts are. And obviously I've got a lot of practice to do, but I guess releases really do make a difference. Thanks for watching, guys. Shot all those with my Scott, so let's see if it's any better. Same distance. Yeah, that's quite a bit better. So those four are just all right on top of each other. And these two, I think I just pulled a little, or I put my bow down to see where it's going. Alright guys, keep shooting. The hunt will be here before you know it.